From ravenous werewolves to haunted towers filled with ghosts, even to trolls that like to sing on the beach, you get a pretty good idea as to why Velen is nicknamed No Man's Land. Really, no one should come here. Everything from wacky to dangerous can be found in these parts, usually in the form of quests. So today, I wanted to list my top 5 side quests in The Witcher 3, specifically in Velen, and I will cover the other provinces in the future. So, let's get into it. Starting off with number 5, we have Wild at Heart. You can start this by checking the notice board at Mulberdale. You read it, and you learn that there's a man named Neelan whose wife has gone missing. He needs help finding her. So you head over to Blackbough to talk to him personally, and he says just that. She's gone. It's his wife, Hannah. He doesn't know what to do. One day he went out hunting, and when he came back, she was just gone. So you need clues, anything, a trail. You ask around town, and the general consensus is that, look, she must have just been killed when she was out, looking for mushrooms and herbs. Maybe a pack of wolves got to her, who knows? So you go out into the forest, and sure enough, a pack of wolves, they seem to be surrounding something. You're forced to put them down, and nearby, it's Hannah's corpse. Well, looks like we got the answer to this one, right? Well, there's something that just doesn't fit. See, when you kill the wolves, you then get approached by Margaret. This is Hannah's sister, and essentially she tells you to stop looking, just stop the search. You're just going to hurt Neelan's feelings if he finds out she's dead, but don't you want to know for sure? Plus, after some investigating, it doesn't look like this was just wolves. There's something else, something bigger, that attacked Hannah. There's more to this story. You find a trail of scent, and it leads you to a hunter's camp. But even further, it takes you to this massive cave underneath the camp. These are the workings of a much bigger beast. Now, you do have to come here when it's nighttime, and if you do, you're going to see what that beast really is. It's a ravenous werewolf, bloodthirsty and ready to kill. So you fight, slashing at it as fast as you can. You cannot pause. These creatures will start to regenerate their health, so you have to keep pressure on them at all times. But if you can wound it enough, there's an interruption. Margaret comes running in, telling you to stop, don't kill him. See, this werewolf has been Neelan all along, and Margaret actually loves him. She always has. She was jealous. She hated that her sister was married to him, so one night she brought Hannah out to the woods to show her what Neelan really was, a werewolf. But he was in such a frenzy at the time that he couldn't see what he was doing, and he murdered his own wife, ripped her apart completely. And now that Margaret has admitted all of this to him, Neelan, he's even more enraged. Now he wants to kill her. So it is really up to you. Let him kill her, or you kill him. Now, I couldn't just let a monster like this get away with that, so I did. I let Margaret run away as I finished off Neelan. Again, constant pressure, constant slicing wherever I could. And finally, this werewolf's rage had died down. And once you kill him, this quest it is going to complete. This was a hunter who slaughtered his own wife, then paid for it, and then the sister, she's forced to live without either of them for the rest of her life. Number 4, we have Funeral Pyres. You can start this by heading west of Mulberdale. Now, on the road, you'll come across a priest of the eternal fire, and he has a holy mission just for you. I know, I almost stopped him and said, look, I think you've got the wrong guy. I mean, I kill people on the daily. But no, he was very confident that he needs exactly your help. Apparently, he wants you to go to 3 separate battlefields, kill the necrophages there, and then burn the bodies of the dead so that their souls may, move on peacefully. Move on from this world, that kind of thing. Sounds all right. So you visit these places, and you do exactly that. Kill the necrophages, burn the bodies. This is the most holy I think a Witcher is ever going to get. The thing is, when you get to the last one, it's just not right. There's a man there being attacked by ghouls. So you run in, and hopefully you can save his life. It's not guaranteed, so you really have to fight quickly. But if you do save him, you're going to find out that his name is Titus Glellis. You see, he was in the middle of a drug deal with one of his regular customers, but that person then attacked him and then left him to be killed by wandering ghouls. And you know what? That same customer, it happens to be the priest who sent us here in the first place. See, the deal went bad, and the priest tried to kill Titus, but, it's never a good idea to have blood on your hands, keep that trail. So he left him to be killed. Then, when a Witcher like yourself comes along, he can send you on this quest that you're on right now to eventually burn Titus's body. Get rid of all the evidence. No one ever has to know a thing. Well, you don't have to be much of a holy man to know this kind of thing. It's just plain wrong. So you return to the priest, and you've got 2 options. You can accept a bribe of 60 crowns that you're never going to tell a soul, and you both can move on with your lives. Or you can kill the priest and both of his guards. I did, and I made sure to burn him in the very fire that he worships. By doing this, you'll end up getting the most crowns possible, a whopping 200 off of his burnt corpse. Not bad. Must be good omens, huh? Number 3, we have the Volunteer. You can start this by going to White Eagle Fort, and this is to the west of Oxenford. Old-fashioned directions, that's one way to get there. Another is listening to the beautiful melodies of a friendly rock troll. Okay, it could use a little bit of tuning, but he shows a lot of promise. I'm talking about the troll known as Trollololo. He's very proud to tell sorry, I just like saying that. Trollololo. He's very proud to tell you that he's a part of the Redanian army. See, a group of Redanian soldiers, they stole a bunch of boats from a bunch of peasants and then stored them here. They then recruited Trollololo to guard them, and this got him really excited. I mean, he's never been asked to do something like this before. He would guard them with his life. Thing is, the peasants who got robbed, well, they came back here to get their boats back, and the soldiers, they were still here. So both parties, they got into this huge fight. How dare you steal these fine ships from us? Now, Trollololo, he was a soldier now. He didn't want to just sit on the sidelines, so he joined in. Thing is, he's a troll, so he's remarkably dumb. So in his frenzy, he killed all of the peasants, but he also killed all the soldiers. He just killed everyone. And then he was hungry, and he was like, well, I don't want to be wasteful, so he collected all of the corpses and then made a very big stew. It's actually still warm. You can see it. It smells like feet. So now, you've got two options, okay? You can kill him, and this makes the most sense. I mean, he's clearly a danger to anyone who comes here, but he's just so cute. So instead, you can spare him, and then he's going to give you a lot more to do. See, he wishes desperately that this place looked like a real, bona fide Redanian fort. It needs color. So he sends you to Oxenford to pick up some paint. You come back, and then he wants you to paint the Redanian crest on one of the walls. Now, I've never been too great with a paintbrush, so I just said, you do it. And you know what? He actually did a really good job. I mean, the proportions, they were all really good. It's certainly colorful. He's a little self-conscious about it, but really, he shouldn't be. Did a good job. So now, after all of this, you've fulfilled the wish of this very silly troll. He's got a proper fort now that he can guard, and all in all, I'd say it's been a pretty good day. Some people died, but look how happy he is! Number 2, we have a greedy god. You can find this just to the south of Wastrel Manor. I didn't prove to be much good as a holy man, so maybe this time I'm going to try the unholy path. You come across a ruined fort with two peasants inside bickering, and what they're actually doing is cursing their luck because they don't have good enough supplies to offer to the All God. Yeah, apparently there's a god here who's cursed the nearby villagers. He's going to fill the rivers with frogs and wipe out all of the harvests unless he gets what he wants. And what that is really good food and really good drink. I mean, bacon, wine, beer, sweets, all of it. And the peasants, they just don't have this. So you can pray at the altar yourself to try and come up with a solution, but it's the same thing. He talks to you and he says they have to bring worthy offerings or else storms and avalanches will crush them to death. Well, thing is, as the All God talks to you, you notice something. Kind of sounds like the voice is coming from underground, right? And sure enough, around the corner, it's an illusion that you can wipe away. So you go down, and there he is, the all-powerful god of Velen. A little bit bigger than expected. See, this entire time, it's just been a Sylvan getting fat off of years and years worth of offerings. And still he's not happy. So you've got two options. You can tell him, look, just accept what the peasants are willing to give you, and then move on with your life. Or you can kill him. And I gotta say, that's a lot more tempting. This fat bastard can stop living off the hard work of other people, yeah? So I cut into his rolls, just hacking and slashing where I could. Actually, I think I cut off one of his nipples, but that's all right. Finally, the beast fell. Now, depending on what you did, this next part might actually be different, but I went back up to the peasants, told them what happened, and they were actually angry at me. They said he told them that if he was ever harmed or killed, they would be cursed for the rest of their lives. No, guys, he's dead. You're probably fine. Oh, whatever. Okay, be mad. It just felt so good killing that thing. And number 1, we have a Towerful of Mice. You can start this by speaking to Kira to the northwest of Midcopes. Thing is, you first have to do the quest, an invitation from Kira Metz, before you can. But once you do, she's going to ask of you another favor. See, there's a place called Fyke Isle, and it is haunted. She wants you to investigate. Now, I've got a weakness for mysteries like this, so how could I refuse? You end up taking a boat over to the isle, and when you arrive, it's clear this is a very dangerous place. There's ghouls all over the place, water hags, it's not pretty. But there is a tower at the center that must have more answers, so you go in, and it's a nightmare. I mean, dark rooms lit by torches that turn themselves on, doors that knock even though there's no one behind them, and an infestation of rats that clutter the floorboards. This place, it's definitely cursed. You can also use a magical lamp that Kira gave you to see certain moments from the past, and by doing that, you'll learn there was some kind of attack here. Okay, so you want to know more. You climb the tower, running through even more shadow, seeing more visions, and then finally, you make contact. The ghost of a girl named Annabelle reveals herself, and by talking to her, you learn the horrible story of her death. See, your father was a lord of Velen, and the family came here to live during the most recent Nilfgaardian invasion, just to be safe. But the nearby villagers and peasants, well, they didn't like them living so much better than everyone else. So they stormed the tower, trying to kill everyone inside. Now, this tower originally belonged to a mage known as Alexander. He had been conducting all of these weird experiments on rats, and then later you find out on humans as well. Anyway, he gave Annabelle a potion that would put her in a deep sleep to make her look dead. Otherwise, the peasants, they were just going to rape and murder her. And it worked. They thought she was dead when they found her, so they skipped over her and then just killed everyone else. A while later, she wakes up from the deep slumber, but she can't move. She can't move. She's totally paralyzed. The effects of this potion, they were so strong. And now, all of the lab rats, they're thinking she's dead, and they swarm her. I mean, biting at her skin, peeling it away, ripping up the bones. And Annabelle was awake for all of it. All of that pain until she finally dies. Now, this horrible death is probably what's causing this island to be cursed, so you try to find some kind of solution. Turns out Annabelle had a lover. A fisherman named Graham, who thought she was dead. He held her in her arms after she drank the poison, but there was no pulse, nothing. So he left. So Geralt suggests that if she can forgive her lover, then the curse is going to be lifted. Now, this is where you have two options, and apparently, if you refuse her, the ending turns out to be a lot happier. But for me, I followed her request. See, she asks for you to bring her remains to Graham and have him bury them. And I wanted her to be happy, so I said, yeah, all right. I went to Graham, I tracked him down, I told him everything that happened, and told him, look, you've got to bury her bones so she can finally be at peace. And he thought, yeah, that makes sense, that's a pretty good idea. So he does it, and then as you're leaving the house, a horrible scream comes from inside. You go back in, and it turns out this entire time, Annabelle, she wasn't just a harmless ghost, she was a plague maiden. This is a spirit of disease and pestilence that has now been released to the rest of the world. All with your help. So the curse on Fyke Isle, it's been lifted, but who knows where the next one is going to pop up. So I loved this quest because it had horror and suspense through the whole thing, and then at the end, there were two very different circumstances, because apparently, if you decided to refuse Annabelle's request, well, it ends up you would have brought Graham directly to the tower. Both of them kiss, they both die, but then they're rejoined in death side by side. But I guess in my case, I've screwed up the future for a lot more people. Oh, okay then. And there you have it, my top 5 side quests in Velen in The Witcher 3. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And down below, please tell me, what would you say is your favorite side quest in this area? Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I feel pretty bad about the last quest, actually. I think now I'm just going to enjoy some songs on the beach with a new friend of mine. If you'd like to join us, I really would like your company.